Thanks for watching ERi-TV, dear viewers. Welcome to our news broadcast. First, a quick look at the major headlines tonight. Efforts to improve livelihoods of National Association of Eritrean War Disabled Veterans. Popular campaign brings in harvests belonging to disadvantaged families in Central Region. Ugandan leader says anti-Ebola efforts starting to pay off. Brazil vows halt to rampant deforestation at COP27 meeting. In our domestic news, Mr. Fasaya Tesfa Mikhail, Vice Chairman of the National Association of Eritrean War Disabled Veterans Association, reported that the association is exerting strong efforts to improve livelihoods of members, indicating that the government as well as the Eritrean people inside the country and abroad are the main partners in the effort. Mr. Fasaya said that the association has been striving to put in place projects and other income generation activities to enable members become self-supportive and productive members of the society. According to Mr. Fasaya, the project that has been put in place to support the war-disabled veterans include agricultural development, poultry farming, bakeries, gas stations, small-scale trade, in addition to organizing various vocational training programs. Mr. Fasaya also said that recently women organizations and the EPLF-PFDJ Vision Room Paltalk group in Germany extended 3 containers of material support to the association. Commending the support the Eritrean people inside the country and abroad are making, Mr. Fasaya called for reinforced participation of nationals in the effort to rehabilitate war-disabled veterans. Members of Sawa and Musa Ali construction companies, the Central Region Administration, as well as the Prison and Rehabilitation Center conducted popular campaign to bring in harvests belonging to disadvantaged families of the villages of Ad Hausha, Zikib, Ad Yakob, Zara Christian, and Ad Yabeto, respectively. At the popular campaign that was carried out from 11 to 15 November, over 350 hectares have been harvested belonging to 800 disadvantaged families. The coordinators of the popular campaign expressed satisfaction for supporting disadvantaged families and called for the sustainability of the program until all harvests of disadvantaged families are in. In related news, as part of the popular campaign they have been conducting, members of Eritrean Police Headquarters carried out similar campaign in the villages of Adi Zamach, Adi Gombolo, and Saladaro. According to the Public Relations Office of the Eritrean Police, over 10 hectares has been harvested belonging to 62 disadvantaged families. Awards have been provided to students in Agurdat subzone that scored higher points in the 2021-2022 academic year 8th grade national examination. According to Mr. And Mikhail Abraham, director of Agurdat Junior School, the awardees were students that scored 90 points and above. Mr. And Mikhail went on to say that the objective of the award was to encourage the outstanding students and other students to emulate the good example of the awardees and become competitive in their education. Pointing out that community-centered initiative to develop the teaching-learning process as well as competence of students is being taken, Mr. Gabriel Mikhail Al-Azhar, head of the Ministry of Education branch in the subzone, called on the public to strengthen participation in the effort, pointing out that the development of teaching-learning process could be achieved through the involvement of many actors. Mr. Haptum Haile, director of the school, said that teachers in the school have been the main factors for the success that has been achieved, indicating that the active participation of parents and school communities have significant contribution in ensuring the development of teaching-learning process. Mr. Isaq Ta'um, administrator of the subzone, called for the sustainability of the initiative to encourage outstanding students and teachers. Veteran freedom fighter Berhe Goitom Patata passed away on 16 November at the age of 82. Veteran freedom fighter Berhe, who was member of the Tehisha clandestine group in Addis Ababa and Asmara from 1970 to 1975, joined the EPLF in 1975 and served his country and people in various capacities. After independence, veteran freedom fighter Berhe has been member of the Eritrean Airlines and Asmara International Airport Authority. During the Ethiopian occupation of Eritrea, veteran freedom fighter Berhe Goitom was one of the 8 Eritreans that were selected to the Ethiopian national football team and played at the 5th and 6th African Nations Cup, in which the Ethiopian national team won the championship. Veteran freedom fighter Berhe was also vice president of the National Football Federation from 1995 to 1998, and he was among those that played a big role in joining Eritrea to CAF and FIFA. The funeral service of veteran freedom fighter Berhe was conducted in the afternoon hours today, 17 November, at the Asmara Patriots Cemetery. Expressing deep sorrow of the passing away of veteran freedom fighter Berhe Goitom, the Asmara International Airport Authority expressed condolences to families and friends. Those are domestic news. Please stay tuned for the international right after the short break. Uganda's efforts to contain an Ebola outbreak were starting to succeed, and the country has tightened restrictions in the outbreak's epicenter to further slow the rate of infections. President Yoweri Museveni said on Tuesday, 2 districts where the deadly fever had spread previously were now free of the disease after they completed the 42 days or 2 incubation cycles of the virus without a case. Overall cases were falling, but some infected people were still slipping through a quarantine imposed on Mubende and Kasanda districts, the epicenter of the outbreak in central Uganda. Museveni also banned the movement of log transport trucks into and out of the 2 districts after it was established they were being used to smuggle people out of the quarantine areas. The virus circulating in Uganda is the Sudan strain of Ebola, for which there is no proven vaccine, unlike the more common Zaire strain that spread during recent outbreaks in neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. The East African country has so far recorded 141 cases and 55 deaths. The outbreak was declared in the country on September 20, 2022. Speaking at the United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP27, Brazilian President-elect Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has vowed to crack down on illegal deforestation in the Amazon rainforest and to make this country a leader in the global fight against climate change. The statements on Wednesday come 6 weeks before Lula is set to take office, signaling a departure from the policies of current President Jair Bolsonaro, who presided over years of rampant Amazon deforestation. By contrast, Lula said that climate change would have the highest profile if his government, and that he would work to strengthen oversight and monitoring systems dismantled over the last 4 years. Brazil is home to 60% of the Amazon, which spans 8 countries and acts as a massive offset for global carbon emissions, a fact underscored by Lula in his address. The president-elect also called on the international community to show better leadership when it comes to climate change. He challenged wealthy nations to deliver on their pledge to provide $100 billion per year in climate finance. That was our news. Please stay tuned for a recap of tonight's headlines. Efforts to improve livelihoods of National Association of Eritrean War Disabled Veterans. Popular campaign brings in harvest belonging to disadvantaged families in Central Region. Ugandan leader says anti-Ebola efforts starting to pay off. Brazil vows halt to rampant deforestation of COP27 meeting. And that was our news. It is good night from us.